Hello everybody. In this video I want to cover two interesting things that have happened recently. Number one, Mika Kaufman, the CEO of Fiverr, releasing an email to all their employees, and number two, Microsoft laying off 6,000 plus people from their middle management layer. But before we jump into the Microsoft news, I want to dissect the news on what the CEO of Fiverr, Mika Kaufman, has actually written in his note. He started off with a very simple statement that, hey, AI is coming to take your job, and just not your job but also my job. That's what he mentioned in his email, that as a CEO my job is also not very safe. But before we dissect what Mika Kaufman has actually written in his entire email, let's understand the nuance around what is Fiverr all about. Fiverr is a platform where any freelancer can find an opportunity from a corporate or from an individual. Similarly, a corporate, if they want to outsource some work, if they want to find a contractor, they will go and search on Fiverr. It's a freelancer platform. Now we know freelancer platforms, typically the companies go and offer work which is probably not too important for them, or something where they want to get an extension team for their intra team. They are not going to outsource a very strategically important work outside of a company. So by design, a lot of work that you get on these kind of freelancer platforms is considered to be not so strategically important. Probably you can categorize it as like, hey, not so difficult. Even if it is difficult, not so strategically important. Now what is happening to these type of works? AI is coming and taking all the easy work, whether it is coding, whether it is market research, whether it is making PowerPoint slides, all this work will slowly start being taken over by AI. So Mika Kaufman is not just talking about his employees, he's talking about his own company itself. If freelancing work becomes more difficult to get, his company can't survive. Similarly, and what we can learn from what he's saying is that, hey, it is not just about freelancers. Anybody who is doing easy work today, that work will be taken over by AI. Anybody who is doing difficult work, that difficult work will become new easy with the help of AI. And people who are planning to do the most impossible kind of tasks, that will become the new normal, where people will get paid a decent amount of money. Don't get me wrong, that Mika Kaufman is not saying that, hey, there are not going to be any roles. He is just saying that the way in which we work would change. We will leverage AI to do everything literally in our work, and probably a lot of us, especially folks who have more than 10, 15, 20 years of experience, we will probably move away from our people management responsibilities to a lot more of individual contributor roles, because that is where a lot of innovation is happening. Now, before we move into the second segment of the video, a quick shout out to our partners for today's video, Odin School. Odin School has launched a certification program in Applied Generative AI course in collaboration with E&ICT Academy, IIT Guwahati. It's a live instructor-led course where you will be learning technologies and tools to build and deploy generative AI models. These are not just theoretical concepts, but you will actually be executing them on 20 plus practical projects. Once you complete the course, you will be certified by E&ICT Academy, IIT Guwahati, and along with that, you will also get the course completion certificate. Not just that, all successful learners will be eligible for an immersive program at the IIT Guwahati campus. This course is taught by the mentors from the academic world and also experts from the corporate world. Once you complete the program, you will be eligible for their holistic placement support, which will continue for 18 months, and you will have a lot of mock interviews and behavioral interviews. Right now, there is an early bird discount offer of 12,000 rupees. You also have options to pay through an EMI, and scholarships are also available. Highly recommended program, so please go ahead and check out the program through the link in the description. Now moving into the next section of the video, let's talk about what Microsoft has done recently. Microsoft has laid off 3% of its workforce, which is 6,000 employees. Now this is a huge number. This is only the second time in their entire history that Microsoft is actually laying off this number of workforce. And remember, they're pretty qualified, they are highly talented, and also highly paid. But this is all the middle management layer that Microsoft is targeting to let go from the organization. It's been very clear. Just to not give you only the negative picture, but also the positive picture, that, hey, two things. One, Microsoft had a very good quarter last time, and their quarterly results actually were better than what a lot of analysts were estimating. And number two, Microsoft has also announced that they are investing more than $80 billion in AI and data centers. Now, both these things should tell us something very important. If the picture is so positive for Microsoft, why are they doing the layoff? That's a very common question, right? But the reality is that Microsoft is not just doing layoffs. It is strategically reorganizing itself to become AI first company. You don't need a lot of people managers in this era, because 100 people work can be done by 20 people with the help of AI. And if 20 people can do the work, then previously used to have 7 to 8 managers managing all the 100 people. But for 20 people now, you might need just 1 or 2 or at best 3 managers. So the people who are in their early 40s or late 30s, like people who graduated from between 2000 and 2010, those are the ones who are actually in a very, very tricky position, because they are used to getting high salary, they are used to doing people management, and now all of a sudden they are entering into a new world where the teams are much leaner, and also the contributions have to be more and more individual contributor roles. And also companies for the very first time are trying to analyze the return on investment of every employee's salary. Hey, should I just hire this 15-year experienced individual, or can I get the work done by somebody who has 7 years work experience, who is probably much more available, who probably I can shift and be a little more flexible? So lots and lots of questions. And this is the time for somebody who is at that intersection between mid-management to senior management to take a hard look at their career and see, hey, what is important for me to survive in this type of environment? And I'm not just talking only about folks who graduated between 2000 and 2010. If you look at the folks graduating now between 2020 and 2025, 2026, it's almost similar scenario, because Cognizant recently announced that, hey, we are going to hire 20,000 people, freshers, 0 to 2 years experience. So very good news, right? But in the same article, they have also mentioned that all these 20,000 people hires are coming because there is an increase in the number of managed services teams. And what does managed services teams mean? Typically, these means maintenance projects, right? Or you are maintaining a client environment. There is no thinking behind the work that goes into these scenarios a majority of the times, right? So you understand that, hey, if you have lesser experience and you get into these type of projects, whether it is Cognizant, Accenture, or even Microsoft, doesn't really matter, where you are not using your brain but you are just doing that maintenance work continuously, where is the growth for you happening? Now on the other end of the spectrum, if you have like 15 years, 20 years work experience and you have been comfortable in your people management role, what is going to happen to your career? Because most of the people management roles will go down continuously. Program management, people management, these are now considered to be good to have roles, not the must have roles in any organization. So it's important for you to continuously upskill, make sure that, hey, your skills are still relevant. One way to do it is, hey, I know a specific tool and I'll work on that tool, and I pray that, hey, that tool will survive in the market in the long run. Or the second way is that you actually learn new tools, you try a couple of tools and say that, hey, now I'm going to apply for jobs through these new tools on my CV. Whichever way works for you, but you have to start looking for these opportunities. The second way, which actually Mika Kaufman has written in his email, where he just not talked only about, hey, the roles are coming down, but he also talked about what you should do. I'll give you the link to that post in the description box. Please do read that. One of the points he mentioned was, you need to connect with a lot of new people. Probably you need to follow new people on LinkedIn. You probably have to go and talk to new people. It could be in a networking forum, it could be in your office, or it could be your instructor in an upskilling program. Doesn't matter, but you need to start expanding your own boundaries so that you know what's actually happening in the world today. So take a course, network with people, follow the right set of people, apply to not just the same job but with a different kind of a job, and don't be comfortable in your role right now. The people who are actually leveraging AI to grow are the ones who are growing. And I'm not here to say that, hey, your job won't be there. But what I'm here to say is that your job is there for you only if you actually get better through AI. Thank you so much, guys. Hope this is helpful to you, and we look forward to seeing you again in the next one. Bye bye.